Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mercy for those who are new. Today I'm going to show you, or I'm going to do a video on complementary feeding or weaning, and I'm going to be showing you what my baby eats in a day. He's 9 months, and yeah, also I'm going to backdate, like tell you how the whole journey has been up to here, because I feel like most moms would want to just to see how other babies are fed, you know. And also I'm a bit privileged that my best friend Maureen, she's a nutritionist, so really I got so much help when I started weaning from her. She told me the do's and the don'ts, and so I want to share with you just some of those, and I hope this video will be impactful. Yeah, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Hiya, so let us begin. Today what I'm preparing him is I'm going to do a bit of carrot, ndoma is arrowroot, yeah, and liver. Here I've got a soup. Actually, first I boiled the liver just a bit so that I can be able to blend, but apparently steamer imepotea, so we are not going to be blending. I'm just going to cut it into small bits, and as you can see, I don't know whether you can see, there is a bit of tunini tudogo tunye tumetoka, so as much as sijaweza kublend, he's also going to get a bit of the liver, okay? But the perfect way is just unapasha moto kidogo and then you blend so that he takes it, yeah? And here we have waru zinaitwa potatoes. And so yeah, so the first thing that I usually do when preparing baby's food, moms, please don't boil baby's food, okay? Oil is very, very important because number one, it helps to prevent constipation. That's number one. Number two, you know, like when you're cooking like these carrots, you want the baby to get the vitamin A's, the fat soluble vitamins. So if you don't use oil, the baby is not going to be able to get that vitamin. So oil is very, very important, and I feel like most moms, I don't know why we boil baby's food. So the first thing she told me, make sure the baby food is nutritious, because again, at times we are like, oh, my baby is a poor feeder, mtoto wangu hataki hii, but the thing is, your food yake umeboil, hujaweka mafuta, hujaweka hata salt, nothing. It's just boiled food. These babies are humans too. You need to give them food that is sweet, food that they'll enjoy to eat. So when cooking, here is Korean ndio nimetumia kuboil maini. So what I have here, I have a bit of onion and garlic. So I'm just going to fry this and then put the carrots, the waru. So for the arrowroots here, you know how arrowroots zinaharibikanga haraka. So I just boil them, and I've kept them like this so that they can last longer. Because again, in Nairobi you don't get good ndomas, as in it's very rare. So when I manage to get ndoma that I know the sauce, I boil and then stop. I napika kidogo. So probably I'm going to use like maybe this piece. Yeah, just this piece is what I'm going to use, and then the rest I'm going to stop. And what I do for Asha, I know at 9 months it's okay to have introduced family food, but for us in our home, we love our food spiced, very spiced. And you know, the perfect time to add the spices is when you're like adding the kitungu, the onions, when you're, you know, frying those. And so I figured, as in, we can't do without spices. So I prefer to cook him the same food that we are eating, but I cook him, you know, separately. And then that's the food that he's going to take for lunch and supper, because again, it's a bit tedious to like cook small portion for lunch and another different portion for supper. Like, yeah, no, I can't do that. So I just cook him food that he's going to take for lunch and supper, okay? So as we cook, I'm going to be explaining now how the journey has been. So let's get cooking. right now I'm using coconut oil. It's advisable that you keep changing the oil so that the baby gets all the nutrition. Like you see, coconut oil has different nutrients. Are they nutrients or micronutrients from like sunflower oil or from different kinds of oil. So it's advisable that you keep on changing or alternating the oil. So the other one that I like to use is sunflower oil, the one that has been triple refined. You know, the clear one. Yeah, I also use that a lot. And yeah, I think those two are the ones that I use. So you're just going to try this, add some the rest of the ingredients, and then you're good to go. So you can also use nyanya, tomatoes. Lakini sina enough. Actually zimeisha, so the carrots will do. We are just going to let this cook because, as I said, the tomatoes are ready, and the liver is also quite ready. So I'm just going to let the warun liver even before I add other ingredients. I do use salt in this food, and I know there is a lot of controversy regarding salt use. Just a minute. So there is a lot of controversy that goes on because, like, one research supports that in baby's food you should use salt to like complement the sodium and iodine needs, but another research contradicts that. So really, it's a bit of a controversial issue. But from what she told me, I realized I use a pinch of salt, like literally very, very small salt, just to complement on his need for sodium and iodine. But you do not want to use a lot of salt because you might end up, overwhelming their small kidneys. So you should be very, very careful when using salt. Just a bit to like taste, not taste. Yeah, very small bit. In fact, I think that's a lot. Just like that. So that is food ikona avoka taste, but actually you can't taste it ko umbali sana. And yeah, that's how I do it. So I'm just going to let this cook down a little before I add the other ingredients. So when I started weaning him, I started on the first day of his 6th month. And what I started with is this Cow and Gate baby rice. So this one is special formula. It's of course written from 6 months, and they give you like the specific servings. Like when it's 6 to 8 months, they give you the amount of water to use and the amount of the baby rice to use. So this is the one I started with. Like for the first 3 days, I gave him this alone for like twice a day, and I did very small portion, like 3 spoons. Yeah, and then on I think around the 4th or the 5th day, I introduced porridge. This is baby weaning porridge, and I could do very thin porridge, almost inakaa kama chai, and that's where we began, like very small portions. And then by I think 2nd week, we were already doing porridge for breakfast, and then baby rice, very small portions, and I continued to add the the portions gradually as he continued to grow. And with that, actually I never struggled with him constipating, especially now immediately when I introduced, I never suffered constipation. He never suffered constipation. So as we continued, now I started introducing him to other fruits. Just a moment. So as we continued, I continued now to add the other foods. I did the pumpkin, I did pumpkin, I did, mostly starches. This pumpkin, matoke, we did all those sort of small starches in addition to now porridge. So I would do porridge in the morning, and now I'd cook maybe matoke, carrots, and a bit of greens. So I continued like that. And by this time, actually by the time I started giving him baby rice, I introduced water, and we would do at least 50 ml a day. And I realized once I started now giving him the other foods, the other starches, if I failed to give him enough water, he'd constipate. That's what I realized. Every time I struggled with having him to drink 50 ml of water, he would constipate. So I realized again, the mistake that I was committing is I was expecting him to take like the 50 ml once, and mostly it was after feeding, so he's already full, and then I'm expecting him to take 50 ml of water, which was not possible. So I started giving him water, like throughout the day. Like I could give him like 5 ml and that's it. Then after 2 hours I give him 10 ml, but at the end of the day we've already achieved the amount of water that is required. And when I did that, he would not constipate. So that is one of the things that helped me. And then number 2, as I said, the other thing that causes constipation is giving baby too much food for baby. And so you should look out for cues when the baby is full or satisfied, because they start looking away, they are not interested in food. So once you get to that point, don't force him to eat too much or a lot of excess food, because it's going to cause constipation. Number 2 is too much roughage. Can you imagine? I never knew this. Too much roughage gives baby constipation, because their digestive system is not like ours. For us, when you take a lot of roughage, helps to alleviate constipation. For baby, is the other way around. So even when you're giving greens, be very careful not to overdo, because it might cause constipation. So let me just prepare the arrowroot, and then we continue with this little talk. So for this, I'm just going to slice it a bit. I know some will be big. As I said, I was supposed to blend, but there is no light, there is no electricity. So I'm just going to cook like this, and then the big lumps I'm going to remove and just, eat them myself. But at the same time, at least that liver, that's nini. What is this called? Flavor and everything is going to be left in the soup, so it's still okay. But the thing that I do when I buy the liver, I just boil it a bit, like for 5 minutes, cut it and blend it and sew it when it is blended, because of such problems like this. So as you can see, this food looks really yummy already. It looks good. And so that's the other thing with babies. At times you come and say, my baby is a poor feeder, my baby all this, my baby that. But you're not cooking them nutritious food. Cook them food that you would eat. Food that is sweet, nice, good food. Yeah. And so here, the only vegetable that I have, let me call it vegetable, is carrot. And so, like for today, I make sure, of course, I give him fruits every day. So it might seem like there are no vegetables here, so many of them, but I'm going to give him fruits, so which is going to balance off fine. So let me add some water, and that will be it. So for the fruits that he takes, my baby loves avocado. So I mix avocado and banana. At times I do avocado and watermelon. He just loves it. I get also, if I can get passion fruit that is not too, which is the word? What is the word then?
Bitter.
Too bitter, yeah. I also give him. So for passion, you have to first taste and know, is it bitter? Is it okay? On akikasha, probably it's bitter. Just stop it. I give the whole banana. He just holds and eats. It's very dirty. It's messy, but I love the fact that he's also learning to feed himself, and that's where you grow pole pole. And let me also say, when I started the starches, I started by sieving his food for like very few days, and then I proceeded to a bigger sieve, and then I proceeded to blending, and then I proceeded finally to mashing with a fork, and that's where we are right now. I mash his food with fork, and it comes out actually very well. And I want to say, as in, don't feel pressurized to, stop. I don't know, there is a lot of, like for me, I felt like the need to jump to smashing with a fork so early, and at times you could almost choke, and that is just dirty. So don't overstay in the sieving part, but again, don't be too quick, as in, use your mom instincts. Yeah, that's how mine was. I mean, sieving, blending, and now we are in the fork and we are very okay. Yeah. So, and also I try to keep increasing, like I make sure his food is lumpy. If it's fruits, I give him akule hivyo ndio learn. Kama ni grapes, natoa tu ngozi ya juu, and I give him anajibamba. So yeah, and I'm seeing progress. So don't stick kule kwa sieve, move, but also move cautiously as you learn what your baby is, the cues the baby is giving you. So yeah, that's it. I feed my baby around 4 times. That's breakfast, we do lunch, we do fruits at around 4, and then we do supper. What I give him during breakfast is either porridge, baby rice, or like when I have something like a sweet potato, I use I do sweet potatoes and I mix with water. So I have not yet introduced my baby to milk, and my nutritionist told me to wait until he's 1 year, because milk has a lot of proteins, and it's actually not really necessary. So whenever I'm mixing like the sweet potatoes, I use water, and it comes out actually very, very well, very sweet. You can't even tell it's not milk. So for the milk, we're going to wait until he's 1 year, and for the proteins, I started with plant proteins at around 7.5 months. That's when I introduced him to plant proteins. So we do like kamande. Kamande is great. Kamande, we do dengu, we do beans. Yeah. So, and then for animal proteins, she told us wait until 9 months. So this is the time that we have actually started to introduce Asha to animal proteins, and the only ones that I've given him so far is the liver and the fish. So for fish, here I bought some fish fillets, and then I just take like this one, and yeah, I cook. And the best thing about fish, you don't have to blend, because you just have to cut small pieces, and then as it cooks, it disintegrates, and it's perfect. But for liver, it's a bit hard. You have to to blend to get like those small pieces. So yeah, we do fish, we do liver. So let me just give you, like, in a day we can do what we are eating is what I put in his food too, but now I cook it separately, as I said. So like we see today we've done that. When we're doing rice na kamande, I just take kamande, waru, and carrots, nyanya, tudania, very nice food. Because I realized like something like ugali is quite hard, because bado hajajua kumeza vizuri. It's like almost choking him, so I put a whole to ugali. So the starch that I replace with is mostly waru or mandizi. Yeah, so that's for ugali is a bit hard for me. But if you can do ugali, fine. If you're doing rice and your baby can eat well, or pasta, as long as it's a balanced diet, it's perfect. And also at night, as I said, we are not doing milk, so at night we do formula at around 4 anakuanga na njaa kabisa, so naamka namtengenezea baby formula, and that's how we do it. Also, I make sure during the day I give him water. Water is very, very important because he's now already started eating the solids. So don't forget the water. It will help to prevent constipation, and it's good for him. And so yeah, I think I'm going to be doing more of when I'm preparing his food so that you can see. But I think generally you've gotten an understanding of what he eats, and I hope you have learned or picked a thing or two. Yeah? Yes, so in case you are a mom, comment down below and tell me, what does your baby eat? How has your experience been, you know? Yeah, let's learn from each other. And I hope this video is impactful. Share, like, and subscribe. Bye.